Greetings, adventurers, travelers, and fellow keepers of the lake. How are you all doing? Welcome back to another episode of Plug and Play. It's a little series in which we take just bits and pieces that you can take from here and put in your own game. So it can be NPCs, taverns, strange occurrences in the world, dice mechanics, monsters, anything that a GM with the writer's block just before the session can just plug and play into their own game. So, what are we talking about today? Last time we talked about making custom dice, and I have some of those here. All of these dice serve a purpose in my game. Some of those I use only for specific games, but some I use for all kinds of games. Especially these three. And this is the one that we made last time, so we're gonna talk about direction dice today. There is a great video from Runehammer, and there is a great dice set from Runehammer as well that has these direction dice. But I wanted to expand on the topic and show you what I came up with during play, so that's what we're doing now. Direction die on its own, believe it or not, shows direction. But how? So let's imagine a little scenario. Let's say these two characters are having a fight. One of them has a big stick, the other one kicks the stick out of their arms, and we ask the question, where does the stick land? This is something that I added to all the disarm actions in my Pathfinder games. So the disarm happened, I roll the die, it says this direction. I can just say it falls somewhere in that direction, and now the character needs to go all the way there to pick up their weapon. But sometimes that's not enough. I want to know how many feet did the weapon fly. In case of Pathfinder, because 30 feet is kind of like how much you can move in one action, I would maybe roll the d20 and the arrow, and it says 20 feet in this direction. It can also be used for explosions where the debris falls. It can be used for tracking movement of guards, for example, patrols. So let's say we have this layer where these bugs live, and our unfortunate protagonist is somewhere around here. If we have an initiative order and bugs have their own initiative, on the character's initiative, he can move. But when it comes to the bugs, they are not aware of the character at this point in time. So what I usually do is I would roll these two dice. For example, this bug will go 13 feet in this direction. Then the other bug might go here. Does it make sense that the bugs would have that type of movement? Kinda. I mean, they're bugs, but even with human patrols, sometimes they hear something. Sometimes they just go to piss on the wall. So it is a good way to make movement before the characters are involved in the conflict, but still, you know, add your little narration into it and you will make the patrol feel much more natural. In cases where, let's say we have elevated terrain and this one can only go like so, we can still just imagine a line at the center and see where the die falls. In this case, it is straight to the right. The bug might just look that way because it can't move in the direction of right anymore, so it will just turn around. In a sense, this die represents the line of sight, basically, of the bug. So we can roll it again. Now we have the direction that the bug can move in, so here I have only 3 pieces of terrain, so I can say anytime we get that direction, the bug will move to the next one. We can roll it again. It seems like the bug wants to go back, so it will just go back. Now, in isolation, it doesn't look like much, but imagine the character who was just climbing this part and was maybe hiding behind a rock, and the bug started going towards them. And in the critical moment, we got this roll and the bug turns around. It creates tension, it is so good, I love it. What else? Let's say we have an explosion happening in the middle here. Where is the portal going to open? We roll the die. The portal is gonna open here. Maybe we have an enemy that explodes and pieces of their body are very valuable. So we roll the die where their body pieces are gonna fall. Let's say, what is this? Their leg has special spikes that can be harvested for magical items. We got this direction. Yeah. I would also use the distance die so I can know if the leg lands on top or at the ground level. But then I got to thinking, how would you do this if you don't have a direction die, if you haven't made one? And if you want to see how they're made, check out the last video. I know you want to do it. Well, basically what I do is I just draw a clock, you know, just a random normal clock, 12, 6, 3, 9. Imagine I screw this up on camera. I drew a clock. I'm pretty sure this skill is gonna be lost in 10 years. But anyways, I would have a reference like this and I would just roll a d12. So we roll it, 7. We can rotate this to face the enemy, but that doesn't need to happen. You just need a random direction and you got it. So if you imagine 7, that's in this direction. So we got the leg here. Pretty simple, pretty straightforward. So how do we expand on this? Well, got me thinking about arrows. I don't know if that's really related just because this one has an arrow on it, but arrows and also movement. So what we did here is divergence, convergence, rolling in circles, moving in circles, repeating something, down, up, and do nothing. We can take multiple different, for example, bugs or whatever, and let's say they are all patrolling or they are in a conflict with the characters. How would they move? We roll the die, they do nothing. So they're keeping together, they're, you know, hard to break apart. You can roll this just once to inform your encounter, or you can roll it every time to see how the battlefield changes. So roll it again. The bugs go down. What does this mean? Well, if they're on top like this bug, maybe it goes down. It just crawls from the watchtower, or if it's a guard, even better, just climbs the stairs down and investigates what's happening underneath. Or in cases where enemies have like the burrow action or something like that, maybe the bugs go into the ground and they are invisible for a round. We can roll it again. Yeah, nothing. Wow, some lazy bugs. Physics, I have no idea. Yeah, like circles. Maybe the bugs will either like start circling around each other, protecting something that's in the middle, or maybe the bugs will like change the shift. These bugs go away and then another battalion of bugs comes. So these ones heal in the meantime. It's just a generation mechanic for your brain. And the idea with convergence and divergence is spreading out, coming together, up and down, especially if you, as we saw in the first example, if you disarm someone, where is the weapon going to fall? We can say, okay, down in this direction. So maybe it falls off the ledge. It's just a way to swiftly give yourselves ideas, but the original dice that had a lot of little pictures, they are too concrete. We need something abstract, like the direction is abstract. Like all of these can be thrown together and they can generate what happens in the moment. And that's what we're striving for. I really recommend that you go and check out Runehammer's video on this, because that's where I learned about the direction die and I'm using it pretty much every session, which like there is a lot of things that I just see and never implement. This is just so easy to do. It's a shame not to try it. So yeah, that is all I wanted to say about the direction die. I hope someone finds this useful, and Merry Christmas everyone. I know I'm a bit late, but in Serbia it was Christmas yesterday, so that's why I wear the little hat. I have no idea in which direction this show is gonna go, but I hope to see you in the next one as well. And with that, I bid you
farewell, keepers.